Travis, it is great to see you. Thanks for making time, and what's been going on?
Not much. Just some windy days, some days it's hard to throw the football in, but man, spring ball, football's here, baseball's here. You can't complain about anything going on here in Aggieland.
Not at all. Well, let's go back to Saturday, and people never really know what to expect out of these games. We talked to Jimbo Fisher beforehand, and he was certainly looking for something. What did you see, and what could have, and what was the reaction to what we all saw?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, of course, the thing that everyone is tuned into, the thing that people want to see is the quarterback battle, what those quarterbacks could do. Like I said, there was like a 30-mile-per-hour wind blowing. It was swirling in Kyle Field, so it was a little bit hard to gauge what they were able to do. But, man, the quarterbacks are everything that is everything in this offseason. And I think that it's a position that, because of the transfer portal, because of that number one recruiting class that A&M has, they're in a much better place than they were at this point last year.
Break the quarterback situation down for all of us.
Sure. So you got Haynes King, who is the returning guy who won the job last year. He won it over Zach Calzada, but in that second game, or the third game, the Colorado game, he broke his leg and was out for the rest of the season. So he's coming back with a year of experience and a redshirt year of experience in Jimbo Fisher's system, knowing the terminology, knowing the language. They get transfer Max Johnson in from LSU, a guy who actually beat the Aggies in their last game last year. Damani Richardson, A&M safety, said there's some fun trash talking going on between Max Johnson and some of those defensive backs of, if one of them gets him, deflects a pass or something, he'll say, yeah, well, I beat y'all last year. So that's been kind of fun to hear about that a little bit. But he actually was pretty impressive in the spring game. Moved around with his feet a little bit more than maybe A&M fans were expecting him to. Had some really pretty good runs there in the spring game. And then you got the five-star, the kind of heir apparent down the line of Connor Wegman, a guy that when Jimbo Fisher was kind of subtly asked about the Quinn Ewers thing over the offseason, if he would have gone after him, of course, the transfer from Ohio State to Texas, Jimbo Fisher said, no, Connor Wegman's my guy. He thought he was the best guy out of that class, and he was his guy all the way throughout that recruiting process. Thinks he is something special. I asked Anais Smith if Connor Wegman had his number called today, if the season was right now, would you have the trust that you could go out there and trust him to run the offense? And he said, yes, he would definitely trust him to run the offense. He said he is still in that process of making some rookie mistakes. Of course, he's an early enrollee and is still getting used to that college speed, but said he would trust him. So to me, it's about a 2.5 horse race. I think definitely you have Haynes King as the front runner with Max Johnson close, and then we'll have to see what fall ball is to see if Connor Wegman can kind of get through some of those initial rookie mistakes and kind of get himself into that picture in the fall.
Travis, you've heard all the conversation about the pressure on Jimbo Fisher, although there really isn't any pressure when you have a guaranteed contract as much as he has. But with the great recruiting class that's coming in, he's had other good recruiting classes. This is his 5th year, and many are still saying, well, it's going to take some time. Why should anybody be patient at this point for Jimbo Fisher to make a national championship run?
Yeah, I think that if you look at what some of the other national championship programs, your Alabamas, your Georgias, the guys who have not only been winning college football national championships, but recruiting national championships, it's about stacking those recruiting classes. And don't get me wrong, Jimbo Fisher and the Aggies have had top 5 classes before this record-setting class, but I'm really interested to see where this recruiting cycle goes next year, to see what they can add on as this kind of hype is going on, no matter what happens on the field, and see if they can stack another top class on top of another top class or a top 3 class. Because when you get that depth, depth is something that Jimbo Fisher has talked about since he first stepped off the plane here in College Station, talking about having that SEC depth, and especially at the defensive line. And if you look at what they were able to do in this recruiting class on the defensive line and absolutely bolster that with just just 5-star after 5-star, then I think it'll be interesting to see as they develop. The 4-year window of this recruiting class, plus building on top of that, is going to be the most interesting window that Jimbo Fisher has had yet in Aggieland, to see what this recruiting class really is made of and to see where they're able to go from there. So I think the next 4 years is going to be, especially even the next 3 years, is going to be really interesting to watch.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.